Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to the Wrestling Review. This week we're going to review Elimination Chamber.
Preview.
Alright, so I don't know if you could tell by the video that I just showed, but I actually had the chance to be there this week at the Elimination Chamber, which was freaking awesome. If you guys ever been there, seen one of the openings, whether it's Raw or SmackDown, I don't care if you're ready for it or not, that is gonna make you piss yourself. That thing is super loud. I had my camera, I had my phone ready. I was ready to wait to film it, and it still scared the crap out of me. Maybe you couldn't tell, maybe you could when I was shaking the camera, but it's loud, but awesome at the same time. All right, so the first match of the night, we had Becky Lynch against Mickie James. I think this is their first match ever. It was an okay match, wasn't too bad. It was a good first match for the pay-per-view. It was even better, that was the first of 3 women's matches on a pay-per-view card. I think that's actually a record for a WWE pay-per-view. So that's pretty awesome. 3 women's matches. This one was pretty good, a little bit back and forth. Becky Lynch ended up winning. I think they're kind of bringing Mickie James back on board to kind of fill out that whole women's division in SmackDown. Just kind of, give some time for some of the younger talent to develop and get called up. Overall, it was a good match. I'm going to end up giving this one 2.5 steampunk goggles. All right, so the second match of the night was the handicap match. It was Kalisto and Apollo Crews versus Dolph Ziggler. Actually didn't end up being a handicap match. It ended up being a one-on-one match for about 90% of the thing, because Dolph came, attacked Kalisto during his entrance, threw him into the panels behind him, basically took him out for, like I said, 90% of the match. Dolph, Apollo Crews, they went back and forth. Kalisto got tagged at the end because he was able to recover. Crews and Kalisto went over, which is, no big deal. The big thing happened at the end of the match when Dolph went to do, his typical heel stuff. He took out Kalisto and then started to work on Crews, put his foot in between the chair and was stomping on it. And the whole time while he's doing this terrible, terrible thing, the crowd is chanting, "Thank you, Ziggler. Thank you, Ziggler," while he's doing this huge heel thing. So obviously the crowd does not like Apollo Crews. I don't really like his character. I think he's an awesome wrestler, but they're just not letting him be himself. Kind of like they did with The Rock when he had to be Rocky Maivia and everybody started chanting Rocky sucks. Well, what happens, he gets injured, he comes back as The Rock, and the rest is history. Hopefully they can do the same thing for Apollo Crews. I think that would really go over. If he can be that person. Not everybody can be The Rock, obviously, but if he has any of that in him, it'll help tremendously. With that being said, I'm going to give this match 2 jean jackets for Dolph Ziggler. Yeah, that's it, 2 jean jackets. It wasn't that great. All right, so next up we had the Tag Team Turmoil match. So this is basically every tag team SmackDown has to offer. And the Turmoil match is great, but with this being the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, I think it just would have been better as an Elimination Chamber match. They've done Elimination Chamber pay-per-view tag team matches before. In fact, I think 2 years ago, they did one on the WWE Network where it was tag teams in the chamber, and it was great. I think this would have been awesome, especially with the new chamber, but it wasn't. It was a turmoil match. 2 teams start. Once their team's eliminated, another one comes in. So very, very similar to the chamber, but just no cage involved. There's a lot of good action in this match. There was a huge point where the Usos and American Alpha were going at it. American Alpha rolls up. One of the Usos gets a surprise pin on him, and that just set the Usos off because, they can't be having that. They can't be having that. They're gangsters now. They're not happy-go-lucky Islanders. They're gangsters. They ain't putting up with no crap, right? They're gangsters, so they're gonna go beat you up if you pin them and win fairly. That's not. You don't do that to the Usos. So they rolled it. They beat up American Alpha. Really, really did a number on them. Jason Jordan's laying in the ring, and the next team's ready to come out. And guess who it is? The Ascension. And the whole time I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna let the Ascension win this. They're gonna let the Ascension win the tag titles. It wouldn't have surprised me. I mean, they were longest reigning NXT tag team champions for a long time. They've had a really, really hard time up on the main roster, and it's really not their fault. They basically gave them the Road Warriors gimmick and expected them to get over with it. Like, that's not going to fly. So I thought they were going to go over, but they couldn't. They couldn't capture the pin basically because Chad Gable and Jason Jordan were like John Cena and Roman Reigns tonight. They were just kicking out of everything. It didn't matter. You could not keep them down. They were fighters. They were coming back and ended up coming back and actually pinning the Ascension and keeping their titles. Overall, I think it was, it wasn't a bad match. It wasn't a great match, but it was good. So I'm gonna give it 3.5 Uso bandanas. Once again, 3.5 Uso bandanas. All right, so the fourth match of the night was the grudge match between Nikki Bella and Natalya. So this is actually a really good match. I was actually pretty surprised. They're really, the WWE has just gone for it, and they let the cat out of the bag. We all knew John and Nikki were together, but now they're really going for it, and they put it in the storyline to make this a huge grudge match. And they even got Nikki dressing like John. They got the bright colors. She had the Phoenix Suns colors on tonight, which he does a lot depending on which hometown he's in. And they were even using a lot of the same moves. She threw his shoulder block in there. She threw an STF, which, I'm sorry, but she could actually teach John something about an STF. Like, her STF looked painful. Like, look at this thing. Oh my God, this is a great STF. Like, she has Natalya bent, like, tied into a pretzel in this thing. It was awesome. So this match was actually, like I said, really good. I liked it a lot. The worst part was it ended in a countout. So that was just like, okay, well, all right. So I guess we're going to continue this at WrestleMania. I don't know, but I like the match a lot. Like I said, even with Nikki using some Cena moves, but a lot of her moves that she had were great. A lot of the spots they did were great. The countout took this match down. Without the countout, I think I would have rated it higher. But because of the countout, because of a couple other weird things in the match, I'm gonna give this match 4 cats out of 5. All right, fifth match of the night. It was actually my match of the night. I love this match. It was Randy Orton versus Luke Harper. And if Luke Harper wasn't a star before, he is a star now. I mean, he wasn't a star, right? But this, to me, was a star-making match. This was an awesome match, awesome back and forth. You had them both taking backdrops onto the announcer table. First, Randy Orton gave to Luke Harper, then later in the match, Luke Harper gave one right back to Randy Orton. Randy hit him with a superplex off the top rope. I mean, oh my God, it was great. The match went back and forth, but everybody knew Randy's not going to lose on the pay-per-view right before he goes to WrestleMania to wrestle for the title. That would be insane. But they put on one hell of a show. I love this match. I'm going to give it 4.5 sheet masks. All right, so next up was the third women's match of the pay-per-view. And this was for the women's SmackDown title, which was Club Kid Naomi versus apparently Captain Marvel, or Alexa Bliss now as Captain Marvel, but she still has her Harley Quinn hair. Either way, this was actually a pretty good match. It wasn't spectacular. It wasn't horrible. Like I said in the last review, Naomi is super, super athletic. She's probably the most athletic diva on the roster, and I think she can have a pretty good championship run if they really let her do her thing with it and let her be herself. But I really like this match. I love seeing Naomi win it. It was a great moment. I give this match, actually, what did I give this match? Oh, I gave it 3 Bruce Leroys, because he's got the glow. You guys know about that, right? Bruce, okay, I'm sorry. All right, and finally, it is time for the Elimination Chamber. Here it comes. It's coming. Here it comes. Okay. All right, so it takes a while to get the chamber down, but once it was down, this was a great match. Now, I read a lot of stuff after I got home about people just not liking. Oh, they put pads on the grates. It's not cool. How are you gonna put pads on the grate? Those people are the same people that couldn't take this bump off of a mattress. And they're sitting there complaining that the wrestlers, they're trying to protect their wrestlers a little bit. It was this thin pad. Stop complaining. Stop finding things to complain about. I loved this new chamber. It was awesome. The glass coming up the sides where the pods were, they had so much more room on top of the pods. No more being crouched over. No more Rob Van Dam trying to do a frog splash with this much room to jump. We had John Cena flying off the top. We had AJ Styles taking a huge bump off the top of this thing. It was like a triple power bomb suplex off the top of the pod. I mean, that's crazy. We had Dean Ambrose flying. We even had the Miz fly. The Miz, the safe Miz flew off the pod. It ended up getting him 8-8 and put away. But regardless, we had everybody, I think, climb to the top, except for Baron Corbin, who got eliminated super quick, and Bray Wyatt. So I mean, I really, really like this match. I know I said Randy and Luke Harper was my match of the night, because it was. I think, there was better wrestling in that match. Without the chamber, this match would not have been as great as Harper and Randy. The wrestling in that one was just better, but this was still an awesome match to watch. I mean, you had John Cena, AJ Styles climbing the side of the cage, and Cena falling from I don't know how many feet. Like I said, a lot of high spots off the top of the pods. And then the best thing of all, Bray wins! Bray Wyatt wins. How awesome is that? We all wanted this 2-3 years ago when he first came out with his, first made it to the main roster with his Bray Wyatt gimmick, had the Wyatt family. I mean, this is a long time coming. I think he's going to be an awesome WWE champion. And now they set up Randy and Bray for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania, which I think they're going to do some cool stuff leading up to it. And I think it's going to be a great match. I think this is a great move by the WWE. And on top of that, he didn't win it cheap, right? He pinned John Cena and he pinned AJ Styles in the same match. So he's the champ now. There's no arguing this. There's no, well, he pinned, the Miz to win this or some crap like that. He won it. He won it good. They put him over. He made him look super strong right now. Like I said, it was awesome. I would give this match, how about 4.5 Husky Harrises? I think that's great. Alright guys, so that's it for my review of the Elimination Chamber 2017. I hope you guys liked it. Please, if you did like it, please subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment, tell your friends. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and also like my Facebook page. That would be awesome if you guys could do that. See you next time.